Welcome to America Who Died Today. Here, we remember the stars who left their mark on show business and culture. Don't forget to watch the videos till the end to catch all the interesting facts about their lives and careers, and leave your comments. We value your thoughts. Let's celebrate those who may be gone but will always remain in our hearts. Shelley Duvall, born July 7, 1949 in Fort Worth, Texas, was an American actress and producer known for her collaborations with director Robert Altman in playing eccentric characters. Duvall won an award at the Cannes Film Festival and was nominated for a BAFTA Award and 2 Emmy Awards. 4 of her films are preserved in the National Film Registry of the Library of Congress. Duvall was born to Robert Bobby Duvall, a cattle auctioneer and lawyer, and Bobby Ruth Crawford, who worked in real estate and law. As a child, she moved around Texas a lot because of her father's work, before the family settled in Houston. Duvall was an artistic and energetic girl, and in her youth she even received the nickname Manic Mouse from her mother. Initially, she was interested in science and dreamed of becoming a scientist, but soon switched to an acting career. In 1970, Duvall met Robert Altman by chance at a party in Houston while he was working on the film Brewster McCloud. Impressed by her charisma, Altman offered her the role. From that moment on, she became a regular actress in his films, including Mrs. Miller, 1971, Thieves Like Us, 1974, Nashville, 1975, and Three Women, 1977, the latter of which earned her the Cannes Award for Best Actress. In 1977, she also starred in Woody Allen's romantic comedy Annie Hall. In 1980, Duvall became widely known for her roles as Wendy Torrance in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining and Olive Oil in Altman's Popeye. In 1981, she played a role in the fantasy film Temporary Bandits, and in 1984, in the short horror comedy Frankenweenie. Duvall also began producing and created a number of television programs for children, including Fairy Tales, Fairy Tale Theater, Legends, Tall Tales and Legends, and Shelley Duvall's Bedtime Stories, Shelley Duvall's Bedtime Stories. Since the 1990s, she has been acting less frequently, appearing in cameo roles. In 1996, she played in Jane Campion's film Portrait of a Lady, and in 2002 in the comedy From Heaven to Earth. In 2023, Duvall returned to acting, playing in the horror film Forest Hills, which became her last work. Throughout her career, Duvall has faced mental health issues that have attracted media attention. She spoke openly about the difficulties she faced, especially during the filming of The Shining, when her work with Kubrick caused significant stress. Duvall died on July 11, 2024 from complications caused by diabetes. Shelley Duvall has left a noticeable mark on the history of cinema thanks to her memorable roles and influence on the industry. Her work in films by Altman and other directors, as well as her contributions to children's television programs, have made her a cult figure in the entertainment world. 4 of her films are preserved in the National Film Registry, which confirms their importance and influence on culture. Her contribution to cinema and television continues to inspire new generations of actors and producers, and her unique style and eccentricity remain in the memory of the audience. Seth Brooks Binzer, known professionally as Shifty Shellshock, was born on August 23, 1974, in Los Angeles, California. He was raised in a creative environment. His father, Roland Binzer, was an artist and documentary filmmaker, while his mother, Leslie Brooks, was a model and script proofreader. This artistic upbringing influenced Binzer's early interest in music. By the age of 12, he began writing rhymes and rap songs, laying the foundation for his future career in the music industry. In 1992, Binzer met Brett Mazur, and they initially collaborated under the name The Brimstone Sluggers. By 1999, they had rebranded as Crazy Town. Their unique blend of rap and rock gained traction, leading to their signing with a major label. In 2000, Crazy Town toured with Ozfest, but their stint was cut short after Binzer's arrest for throwing a chair through a window while intoxicated. Crazy Town achieved massive success with their single, Butterfly, which topped the Billboard Hot 100 and reached high positions in several international charts, including Austria, Denmark, and Norway. The success of the song propelled their debut album, The Gift of Game, to over 1.5 million copies sold. However, the band's follow-up album, Dark Horse, released in 2002, failed to replicate that success, leading to a breakup shortly after its release. The band reformed in 2007, and in August 2009, they performed live for the first time in 5 years. Their third album, The Brimstone Sluggers, was released in 2015, marking a significant return to the music scene. Binzer's contributions to music continued beyond Crazy Town, as he collaborated with renowned producer Paul Oakenfold on the hit single, Starry-Eyed Surprise, which became a commercial success. In 2004, Binzer released his only solo album, Happy Love Sick, with the single, Slide Alongside, charting in several European countries. Later, in 2010, he formed a new band, Shifty and the Big Shots, which released the single, Save Me. Binzer's life was marred by struggles with addiction and legal troubles. He was candid about his past, including a 3-month imprisonment for attempted burglary. His addiction led to years of substance abuse, which he openly discussed in interviews. He married Melissa Clark in 2002, with whom he had a son named Halo. However, their marriage ended in divorce in 2011, citing irreconcilable differences. His relationships were tumultuous, with notable partners including model Jasmine Leonard. Their relationship was fraught with issues, including Binzer's legal troubles and struggles with addiction. He faced several arrests, including for battery and possession of cocaine, which contributed to the decline of his personal life. Binzer's battles with addiction became public when he was cast in VH1 Celebrity Rehab. He graduated from the program in 2007, but his sobriety was short-lived. His struggles continued, and he appeared in Celebrity Rehab 2, where he relapsed. He also starred in Celebrity Rehab Presents, Sober House, a follow-up series that chronicled the journey of former participants. Despite attempts to regain control over his life, including pledging to stay sober after relapses, Binzer continued to face challenges. His addiction affected his relationships and parenting, leading to significant legal battles over custody with Jasmine Leonard, who accused him of drug use in front of their son. In March 2012, Binzer suffered a severe health scare when he lost consciousness and was hospitalized, waking up from a coma before being released. Tragically, on June 24, 2024, he died at his home in Los Angeles from an accidental overdose involving cocaine, fentanyl, and methamphetamine. He was 49 years old at the time of his death. Binzer's life was a complex mix of artistic talent and personal struggles, marked by moments of triumph in the music industry juxtaposed with the challenges of addiction and the impacts of fame. His legacy in the rap-rock genre remains significant, particularly through the enduring popularity of Butterfly and his contributions to Crazy Town. Donald Sutherland, born on July 17, 1935 in St. John, New Brunswick, Canada, became one of the most iconic and diverse actors of his time. He grew up in a family with artistic traditions, and his interest in acting was evident from an early age. Sutherland attended the University of Toronto, where he initially studied engineering, but later switched to theatre, which was a turning point in his life. Donald's acting career began in the 1960s when he landed his first television roles, including popular shows such as The Avengers and The Saint. His breakthrough came in 1967 with a role in the film, The Dirty Dozen, where he played one of the convicted soldiers, and this work drew attention to his talent. However, real fame came to him with the film MASH, 1970, where he played the role of Surgeon Benjamin "Hawkeye" Pierce, which made him a cult figure in the film industry. Sutherland also received critical acclaim for his work in the film Klute, 1971, where he played a detective who investigates the case of a missing prostitute, which earned him his first Oscar nomination. His career continued to flourish in the 1980s, when he starred in such significant films as Ordinary People, 1980, for which he again received an Oscar nomination, and John F. Kennedy. Kennedy, Just the Facts, 1991, where he played one of his most memorable roles as Deputy Secretary of Defense. In addition to prominent roles in dramatic films, Sutherland also became known for his involvement in lighter and more entertaining projects. In the last years of his career, he attracted the attention of a youth audience through his role as President Snow in the Hunger Games trilogy, where he demonstrated his ability to create complex and ambiguous characters. This role not only strengthened his status in the film industry, but also introduced a new generation to his work. Donald Sutherland's personal life was also intense. He was married 3 times, including to actress Shirley Douglas, with whom he had a son, Kiefer Sutherland, who also became a famous actor. Their relationship was difficult, and the couple divorced in 1970. In 1971, he married actress Katie Henderson, with whom he had a daughter, but this marriage also ended in divorce. Sutherland later married Francesca Jossi, with whom he had 2 children. He often stressed that family and relationships with children are of great importance to him, and in interviews shared his views on parenting and love. Sutherland was also actively involved in charitable activities and supported various social and political initiatives. He was a supporter of the human rights movement and participated in environmental protection campaigns. In 2008, he supported Barack Obama's candidacy for the presidential election, which also testified to his active position in public life. Donald Sutherland died on June 20, 2024 in Miami, Florida, at the age of 88, from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. His contribution to cinema will remain in the memory of many generations, and his films and characters will live on. The actor will be remembered not only for his outstanding roles, but also for his character, charisma and ability to bring depth to every character he played. Sutherland remains a symbol of classical cinema and an important figure in the history of American and Canadian cinema. Akira Toriyama, Japanese, Hepburn, Toriyama Akira, was born on April 5, 1955 and passed away on March 1, 2024. He was an outstanding Japanese manga artist and character designer, the first to achieve widespread fame through the creation of the popular manga, Dr. Slump, and then he became world famous for Dragon Ball, his most famous work. Toriyama has also worked as a character designer for such popular video games as the Dragon Quest series, Chrono Trigger and Blue Dragon. His work has had a significant impact on the history of manga, and many mangaka cite Dragon Ball as their source of inspiration. Toriyama received the Shogakukan Manga Award in 1981 for the best shonen/shoujo manga with Dr. Slump, which has sold over 35 million copies in Japan. The manga was adapted into a successful anime series, and in 1997 a second anime adaptation was created, 13 years after the manga was completed. His next series was Dragon Ball, which became one of the most popular and successful manga in the world. Since its release, it has sold 260 million copies worldwide and is considered one of the key works that contributed to the growth of manga circulation in the mid-1980s and 1990s. Outside Japan, the anime adaptations of Dragon Ball were even more popular than the manga itself, and contributed to the rise of anime popularity in the West. In 2019, Toriyama was awarded the title of Chevalier of the French Order of Arts and Letters for his services to the arts. In October 2024, Akira Toriyama was inducted into the Harvey Award Hall of Fame, which once again confirms his outstanding contribution to manga and animation. Toriyama was born in the town of Kiyosu, Aichi Prefecture, Japan, and since childhood was fond of drawing, depicting his favorite animals and vehicles. He was inspired by such works as 101 Dalmatians and Astro Boy, which led to an interest in manga. After graduating from high school, he worked for an advertising agency, but soon left it to take up manga. His career in manga began in 1978 with the work Wonder Island, which became his first published work. Toriyama became most famous after the release of the manga Dr. Slump, which was a huge success from 1980 to 1984, and then Dragon Ball, which was published from 1984 to 1995. Both series were adapted into anime, which contributed to their popularity not only in Japan, but also abroad. From the mid-90s to the early 2000s, Toriyama continued to work on various projects, including creating video games such as Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger. Despite his incredible popularity, Toriyama remained humble and continued to create new works such as Sandland and Kawa. Since his passing away in March 2024, Akira Toriyama has left an indelible mark on the manga and anime industry, and his work continues to inspire a new generation of artists and fans around the world. Franz Anton Beckenbauer, German, Franz Anton Beckenbauer, September 11, 1945 to January 7, 2024, was a German professional football player, coach and functionary. Nicknamed Der Kaiser, which means emperor in German, he is considered one of the greatest footballers of all time and one of 9 players who won the FIFA World Cup, the Champions League and the Golden Ball. Beckenbauer was a versatile player who started his career as a midfielder, but became famous as a central defender. He is often considered the author of the modern role of libero, free defender. Beckenbauer was twice named European Footballer of the Year, played 103 matches for the West German national team, participated in 3 FIFA World Cups and 2 European Championships. He is one of 3 people, along with Mario Zagallo from Brazil and Didier Deschamps from France, who have won the World Cup as a player and as a coach. He lifted the World Cup trophy as captain in 1974 and repeated this success as a coach in 1990. He became the first captain to lift the trophy of the World Cup and the European Championship at international level, as well as the Champions League at club level. In 1998, he was named to the 20th Century World Team, in 2002 to the FIFA World Cup Dream Team, in 2020 to the Golden Ball Dream Team, in 2021 to the IFFHS Dream Team of all time, and in 2004 was included in the list of the 100 greatest living players according to FIFA. At club level with Bayern Munich, Beckenbauer won the Cup Winners' Cup in 1967 and 3 consecutive European Cups from 1974 to 1976. This achievement made him the first player to win 3 European Cups as captain of his club. He became coach and later president of Bayern Munich. After 2 seasons at the New York Cosmos Club, he was inducted into the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame. Beckenbauer led Germany's successful bid to host the 2006 World Cup and chaired the organizing committee. He worked as an analyst for Sky Germany and was a columnist for the Bild tabloid for 34 years, until 2016. Since August 2016, an investigation has been launched against him in the case of fraud and money laundering in connection with the 2006 World Cup. In 2020, the investigation was closed without a verdict, as the statute of limitations had expired. Beckenbauer was born in the post-war ruins of Munich, the second son of postman Franz Beckenbauer Sr. and his wife Antonia, née Hupfaff. He grew up in the working-class neighborhood of Giesing. Beckenbauer was raised as a Catholic and was an altar boy in the Munich Obergising parish. Despite his father's skepticism about the game, Beckenbauer began playing football at the age of 9 in the youth team of SC Munich 06 in 1954. Originally a striker, he worshipped 1954 World Cup winner Fritz Walter and supported local club 1860 Munich, the city's then dominant team, despite their relegation from the top league in the 1950s. "It has always been my dream to play for them," he later confirmed. However, he joined the Bayern Munich youth team in 1959, instead of the 1860 Munich team of his favorites, which was the result of a controversial under-14 tournament in the vicinity of Nübbelberg. Beckenbauer and his teammates knew that SC Munich 06 did not have the funds to continue the work of their youth teams, and decided to join 1860 Munich as a group at the end of the tournament. As luck would have it, SC Munich and 1860 met in the final, and a series of minor incidents during the match eventually led to a physical clash between Beckenbauer and the opposing central defender. The bad feelings this caused had a strong impact on Beckenbauer and his teammates, who decided to join Bayern's youth side rather than the team they had recently faced. In 1963, at the age of 18, Beckenbauer was at the center of a scandal when it became known that his then-girlfriend was pregnant and he was not going to marry her. He was banned from the West German DFB youth national team, and only after the intervention of team coach Datmar Kramer was he allowed back in. Beckenbauer made his Bayern debut in a Bundesliga promotion playoff match on the left flank against FC St. Pauli on June 6, 1964. In its first season in the Regional Liga South, at that time the German Second League, in the 1964-65 season, the team won the league and was eventually promoted to the Bundesliga. Bayern soon became a force in the new German league, winning the German Cup in 1966-67 and achieving success on the European stage in the Cup Winners' Cup in 1967. Beckenbauer became the team captain in the 1968-69 season and led his club to their first league title. He began experimenting with the role of a free defender, libero, at this time, honing the role into a new form and becoming perhaps the greatest connoisseur of an attacking free defender. Throughout his career, Beckenbauer stood out for his leadership and fair play, never receiving a red card during his time at Bayern Munich. His return to Germany was marked by the fact that Beckenbauer was appointed coach of the West German national team, replacing Jupp Derval on September 12, 1984. He led the team to the 1986 World Cup final, where they lost to the Argentines led by Diego Maradona. In 1990, before the unification of Germany, Beckenbauer led the last German national team without East German players at the World Cup, winning the final 1-0 against Argentina in a rematch of the previous World Cup final. Beckenbauer became the first and only person, along with Didier Deschamps, to win the title both as a team captain and as a coach. In 1994, Beckenbauer assumed the role of president of the Bayern Munich club, and many successes in the following years were attributed to his astute management. He resigned as president of Bayern Munich in 2009, and was replaced by longtime general manager Uli Hoeneß. In 1998, Beckenbauer became vice president of the German Football Union. In the late 1990s, Beckenbauer led Germany's successful bid to host the 2006 World Cup. Franz Beckenbauer died on January 7, 2024 after a long struggle with an illness that had significantly worsened his health in recent years. Thank you for watching this video. May the memory of these outstanding people continue to inspire us all. We cannot change the course of time, but we can keep in mind their contribution and significance. If this video has affected you or you want to know more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment. Let's continue to share their stories and keep the memory of them together. See you soon, and remember that those we love never leave without a trace.